Ashley with Pugs and Pearls, and today I'm going to be reviewing the New Orleans Spring Collection, and this particular mini set is called the Jambalyaettes collection, which just makes me so happy because I love New Orleans, I love OPI, and to be honest, I haven't been excited about an OPI collection in a long time. Winter didn't really thrill me, there was a lot of grays, a lot of reds. Fall was kind of boring for me as well, so this is a collection I can really get into. And surprisingly, a lot of the colors I thought I would already have like a lot of dupes for, but I actually don't. But I do think that OPI, as far as uniqueness, I do think that if you've gotten a lot of the past collections, a lot of these are very similar, so you may not need them. But for me, I found a lot of these were actually going to be unique for me, for my collection, so I was really happy to get them. But I have swatches I'm going to share with you. I'm going to go through each one and tell you what I think about it, and throw in some fun personal stuff along the way, because New Orleans is just a wonderful city. If you've never been to New Orleans, there is no other city in the US like it. It's one of my favorite cities to go for vacation, and I don't know, I've grown up being kind of near New Orleans. I lived in Pensacola when I was a child. We would travel 3 hours to New Orleans to go eat muffulettas by the river, and it just has a lot of history, and it has a lot of parties, and there's a lot of drinks, and there's a lot of food, and they're so good, so good. So we're gonna go into some of these things as we go through the collection, and I'll share them with you. Okay guys, so let's look at the mini collection that they came out with first. These are the 4 minis that came in the collection. The first one is Got Myself Into a Jambalaya. The next one is Take a Ride on Bourbon. This green is I'm So Swamped. And this next one is Show Us Your Tips. And then, of course, I picked up some bigger ones because I was so interested in this collection. This one is Rich Girls and Po' Boys, a nice blue. And Let Me Buy You a Drink. Crawfishing for a Compliment. She's a Bad Muffuletta. And Spare Me a French Quarter. So let's talk some overall things about the collection first. First, I want to say I really like that they got into the New Orleans theme. I felt like they had some really good names for the polishes, and some of them are quite funny and quite cheeky, which sometimes I feel like OPI doesn't really push the envelope on that, so I was really excited to see that. The formulas were 1 to 2 coats for the most part. There's one that is a 3-coater, but it's worth it, so I'll talk about that. But overall, I was really impressed with their creativity, although I do have some suggestions. As you know, I have opinions, so I'm going to share those with you as well. Okay, so the first one up is Let Me Buy You a Drink, and it's bayou as in living on the bayou, and this is what it looks like. It is such a nice pale pink shimmer, and it was a 2-coater. I love it. I think the formula is really nice on this, and I think it's one of those just perfect, really nice spring colors. And living on a bayou actually relates to me because I grew up on a bayou. Actually, in Pensacola, I grew up on Bayou Tahar, so I can relate to the bayous, and so I had to get this one. So let's talk dupes for Let Me Buy You a Drink. The closest thing in my collection I could find was a China glaze polish, and this one is called Wanderlust. I believe this came out in a spring collection. So if you put them close together, they both have a very light pale pink base, but the difference that I see is in China glaze, the shimmer in there is much stronger than it is in Let Me Buy You a Drink. So very similar, but not quite the same. Next up is this beautiful light orange cream. This is Crawfishing for a Compliment, and I just love this color. I love the name, and I think this is a perfect, beautiful springtime polish. And I'm also wearing some gradients. A lot of these polishes are on my nails today, so I'll talk about that. That's in my gradient over here. But Crawfishing for a Compliment, this was a 2-coater. So I couldn't find an exact dupe for Crawfishing for a Compliment. The closest thing I could come to in my collection was a Sally Hansen Xtreme Wear, and this was one of their limited edition ones from one of their summer collections, and this one is in the shade 830 Floaties. So you can see that Crawfishing for a Compliment is quite darker, but they both have that light creamy orange kind of creamsicle color, which I really like. Okay, the next one is She's a Bad Muffuletta, and I don't know why, but it makes me want to sing that song, She's a Bad Muffuletta. Does anybody know what that song is? Anyway, this is a beautiful bright red, red-orange cream to me. It kind of leans pink too, so it's like a pinky red. Really nice, again, a super bright color. And this one is also a two-coater, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is a two-coater, perfect bright red color, and that is on the tips of my nails on the orange ones. Now, the only thing that I could find that was very similar to this and completely makes sense when you're talking about the names. So she's a Bad Muffuletta, and then OPI also has Cajun Shrimp, which is a really, really popular orange red. The difference is Cajun Shrimp is an orange red and she's a Bad Muffuletta is a pink red. So you can sort of see the difference there. They're similar, but this one leans orange and Muffuletta leans pink. So if we're talking about personal things when it comes to she's a Bad Muffuletta, muffulettas are an amazing sandwich. It has kind of like an olive tapenade, a lot of meat, salami I think is on it, and it's one of my favorite sandwiches to get when I go to New Orleans, and one of the best places to buy it is the Central Grocer down in the French Quarter. So I highly recommend it if you're going to New Orleans. Get yourself a muffuletta and try it out. Okay guys, next up is Spare Me a French Quarter. And this is a beautiful purple, kind of has a pinky tone to it. This formula is amazing. This one is a one coater, goes on really nice. Again, this is a perfect spring color as well. And then when we're talking about the French Quarter, Spare Me a French Quarter, the French Quarter is actually one of the very historical, very touristy parts to go to when you're in New Orleans. There's definitely a lot to see and do. There's great food. The people are very interesting. So the French Quarter is one of the best places to go check out and just people watch. Now let's talk about dupes for that one. The closest thing I had in my collection was Casino Royale, which was from the James Bond collection. It is a darker purple though. So this is Casino Royale and this is Spare Me a French Quarter. So you can see this one's a little bit darker than this purple. So the next one up, I don't have any dupes or anything close in my collection, which really surprises me because this is a gorgeous bright blue. This is called Rich Girls and Po' Boys, and po' boys as in the sandwich. So a shrimp po' boy is one of the best shrimp sandwiches you will ever have. Again, New Orleans makes some amazing ones. But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous cream shade. And this one is also a great formula. This is a one coater as well. So again, really, really good formulas on some of these, and this is what it looks like on the swatch wheel. Again, a perfect bright blue. Very surprised I didn't have anything similar to that, because I feel like that's a really standard bright blue, but to me it's just a little bit different. Okay, so now we're actually getting into the mini set. Those were all of my big ones. The first one up from that is Got Myself Into a Jambalaya, which again, we're talking food. This is a beautiful light peach coral. Again, on my fingers today. Really, really like this one a lot. Again, just I didn't have anything really similar in my collection. I thought I would have, but I don't. This is a beautiful, beautiful two-coater, and this is what that one looks like. Again, on my nails today. Okay, next up is from the mini collection. This is Take a Ride on Bourbon, and it is a very, very light gray chrome. And I do think that OPI does a lot of chrome, so you probably have something similar to this. This one is kind of streaky, so it's definitely not a popular one from this collection. A lot of people that I've watched reviews also do not like this one, so you do have to, if you don't like it, you know, you're not going to like the streaking. This one probably isn't for you. This one is also a two-coater. So this is what it looks like, and if you look close, yeah, you can see the streaks. So you just have to like be really careful when you apply it. I think it's a pretty chrome, like it's a very nice light silver, but the streaks kind of ruin it for me. I think there's other ones that they've made that are a little bit better, but I don't personally have any that are similar to that color in my collection. But if we're talking about Bourbon Street, Bourbon Street is one of the wildest streets that you will ever be on. It's a party street. There's lots of bars, lots of drinking, lots of craziness, strip clubs, anything you can imagine there on Bourbon Street. You will see a lot on Bourbon Street as well. For Mardi Gras, my friends and I used to go in college every year. We would drive up there, we would stay. It was a crazy time. I had so much fun, so many good memories, and like I said, you just have to experience it, but be careful on Bourbon Street. Okay, this next one up is I'm So Swamped, and it's a 2-coater. It's a leafy green cream. This is one that I really debated on. Should I need a bigger bottle of this? Because I looked in my collection, I don't have anything similar to this as well. This is what it looks like up close. I actually have it on my pointer finger today as part of a gradient. Really like this. I think it's just a really fun spring color. I'm still debating. I might get the bigger size, we'll see. But just a fun color. And I'm So Swamped. You know, New Orleans is a very swampy place. Louisiana in general is a very it's kind of swamp land. So I think that was kind of fun that they included that in the collection. And here it is on the swatch wheel, 2 coats. Okay guys, last up, but certainly not least, we have Show Us Your Tips. And I really was surprised that OPI went there because we all know what they're talking about. It is not tips. There are something else that you're going to see on Bourbon Street if you go during Mardi Gras. But this is the one that I was talking about that was a 3-coater formula, but it's worth it. To me, this is the most unique one out of the collection. Most of the collection is creams. This one actually has a beautiful silver shimmer running through it. So I hope you can see it. I think you can. This one is really pretty. And this is another one that I kind of debated about picking up in the full size because I do think it is a special polish. Now, the only thing I could come up with that's close, and even the color's not close, but the shimmer is Bikini Sotini from Essie. So you can see that Show Us Your Tips is a lot darker blue, but they both have a silver shimmer running through them. Okay guys, so that was all of the polish, but I have something special for you that if you've made it to the end of the video, I actually have a whole set that I'm going to give away because I accidentally bought 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know to enter into this giveaway. Let me know what was your favorite or which one did you pick up in the comments below. I'm going to run this giveaway for 1 week. So a week from now I'm going to randomly select a winner, just a random comment generator. Everyone has an equal chance of playing and participating, but you will win a new mini set because like I said, I accidentally bought 2 because I was really eager for this collection and I don't know, something happened. So guys, I just want to throw in some opinions as well because while I love this collection and I think OPI finally kind of pushed themselves out of the box a little bit, I do think they've made colors that are very similar. I just don't happen to have those colors. But when I think of New Orleans, I actually think more like deeper colors because New Orleans is a very unique place, but a lot of the things that I think of when I think of New Orleans are beignets and Café du Monde, which is one of the famous donut or beignet shops in the French Quarter. And I think of dark green and I think of purple because those are Mardi Gras colors and gold. And they really didn't give us any of those colors in this collection, so I know it's New Orleans in the springtime, but New Orleans has a very like gritty, dark lifestyle almost in a way. I don't know, just what I've experienced there. It's very different and unique. I love that they focused on the food because there's definitely food, but they forgot beignets. They needed to include beignets. But other than that, guys, I really enjoyed the collection. Again, leave a comment below to enter into the giveaway, and I will talk to you in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys!